No, that's a lie. Just now 5. Okay.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. We're live. All right, then. Let's start as usual. Sigis, it is your turn to give us a summary. So go right ahead.
Wait,
Awesome.
wait, wait.
Fine.
Yes.
Okay, you are live. Sorry, I just was like, it wasn't showing.
We
Okay.
are live. Sigis, go ahead
All
and
right.
give us a summary.
So we are in Corvosa. We have just been attacked by assassins, and they've all just turned to dust. The city bells are starting to ring nonstop. We glance at the window, and there's just black smoke roiling out of buildings on the far side of the river, and we know that shit is going down in the city. Silera, we decide we'll probably. Well, we just got attacked by assassins. So Silera runs to go check on her parents, who were probably the actual target of the attack, along with her. And then a bird arrives through a window. And he's got a note, and it says that the boat is ready and we need to leave. And Sigis figures out that this letter is from Frank, and it was sent to Silera's family. Grigori is the smart one and has been stuffing all the loot into a bag and also a vial of assassin dust for possible later consumption. He goes and checks the servants' quarters, but it's spotless and clean. So this was like everything's been cleaned, and they were just gonna disappear everyone. Erica and Silera help escape, help grab Silera's parents and their go bag, which is very exciting, personally. And we decide to flee the house. While we're fleeing, we noticed a very manservant shaped mound in the garden, but we decide to forget that and move on with life. So we're running through the streets and navigate when we come to the city's gate. And through a mix of strength, magic, and some unnecessary wall running, and some device disabling, we get the gates open and held open using the assassin's sawtooth sabers. We do let some bandits in on the way in, but they're probably going to get killed. And at this point, we're mostly thinking about ourselves. So we close the gate behind us, and we are sprinting to the ship of the Misfortune, but there's not enough time to get to the chopper. So Sigis digs deep and unleashes his gross blood magic filled with leeches. And basically, in a swirl of blood, 3 flying horses land on the deck. Dramatic entry is made, and then Silera gets to do her favorite job, which is explaining and apologizing for her party members. The ship leaves, and there is kind of this great aerial battle. There's all these amazing griffin mounted knights, but they're getting like sniped out of the air by some very impressive ballista shots. As we're kind of sailing out as fast as we can, we've noticed that there's these black sable like knights, and they are just butchering civilians. There's flaming buildings, chaos in the streets. And this isn't normal Corvosa chaos. This is like absolute anarchy, or at least the putting down of potential anarchy. And so as we are fleeing, the ship takes some damage. Robin quickly scurries down to try and secure the cargo, and also notice that the ship is healing itself. And as the ship kind of picks up speed and starts creating this like storm around it, we escape, which is awesome. At that point, with that kind of excitement over, we're trying to figure out where do we go next. The party decides we want to take care of Sailor's dad and trying to get to a cure. And we realize that this is very similar to the mushroom disease that Sigis got in the cave. So we need a high level healer. So Frank helps out and lends us his magic 8-ball. And we basically use that we ask the 8-ball for if our path will be a break success, and we basically get a future unclear answer. But probably are going to stick to that path. So we are sailing off. I think that's where we're at.
Go ahead and roll for fate die, and you absolutely murdered me with the magical 8-ball.
Of note, the people that were butchering the civilians were doing the silver and red.
Yes.
Get up, because they're it's the queen's peeps, we think, and the queen is
The new
ex-
ruler of
Yeah,
Corvosa.
Chelaxian,
Yes.
kind of.
Well,
Right.
she is Chelaxian, yes, but she is the new ruler of Corvosa. And Corvosa is technically not part of Cheliax. It's an
Yes, but
independent
now
city.
it's kind of going to be
Yeah.
Chiliax
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
methinks.
2.0. That'll
Yeah.
be 2v2. All right. Picking back up where we left off, you guys were still a little bit of a ways away from arriving at Palin's Cove, and I'm going to change the view to show your map with your planned route. Here. This. Boom. Right. Yeah. So you have about a day of travel to Palin's Cove. Actually, a little bit less. It's closer to about 12 hours because you have been traveling for a little bit and making your plans and whatnot. But you still have some time. The skies above you all right now are starting to turn gray. You can see some storms brewing. As you guys are sort of crossing out of the canal and into the ocean proper for a short while, for the couple hours that it's going to take you to get to Palin's Cove. Yeah, is there anything you guys wanted to do on the way there before you guys arrive at the little coastal city? I know there's still quite a few pieces of your plan unresolved. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was going to write a letter to Apollo,
Hmm.
so that when we are essentially dropped off, that I can hand it over to Frank to deliver when he goes back to Corvosa.
All right.
So I'll be doing that.
All right. Eventually, I'm gonna need you to actually write that letter down for me.
Okay, deal.
All right.
I can do that.
Sigis?
Yes, he just had 2 more hours on a small magic item left, and then he's just gonna scribe a scroll of Spider Climb.
All right. For the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna say that you do have enough time to do both things.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sigis, while Celera sort of takes a moment to move away from the group and from Frank and leaves the condition of her father to her mother. She goes off to write her letter. Sigis, you go into your own sort of quarters and set up a quick shop to work on some magical items. What about the rest of the party? Is there anything you would like to do before you arrive at Palin's Cove? For instance, Robin.
Sleep.
Sleep. All right.
Not tired, but I need my key.
All right.
So definitely meditate.
Not a bad idea. You guys did have a pretty tense fight just moments before ago. Erica?
Yep.
Yeah, the sleeping sounds like a good idea. Is it how many hours do you say we have?
About 12, so you can take a full
Okay,
rest.
yeah. I will do that, and then kind of as we get close to shore, she'll kind of wait for everyone to catch up and make sure we're all agreed on the plan. Think about maybe where to get some horses or something.
Okay.
When Robin wakes up, he's going to probably bump into Sigis at some point. And yeah, just take those gloves and start dicking around with them, get used to them.
All right. What about Grigori? What is he up to?
We're definitely sleeping.
All right.
Outside of that, I'd probably be up in the crow's nest, keeping an eye out.
All right. Well, in that case,
Also, I prepped my delayed disease for Celera's daddy-o.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as a lot of you go to finish your preparations, either for the journey ahead or for your friends back home, you guys have enough time to have a full night's rest. get patched up, probably tend to your wounds, because most of you, despite getting some magical healing, do still have some lingering wounds, I believe. So, at some point during now the morning of the following day, you guys are waking up, those of you who went to sleep. Actually, most of you would be waking up. I think the only exception would probably be Grigori waking up a little bit, perhaps a little bit earlier than the rest, and heading up to the crow's nest.
Yep.
And Grigori, you would see the side of the mountain has sort of a strange, still natural looking, but it's a little bit uncommon to see. It forms a natural cove, and there's a little bit of a tunnel going into it where the water of the river and the ocean have sort of carved into the stone. And built into that cove and overflowing out and around the mountain is a massive city. It doesn't look like your usual coastal city. It doesn't look like it's walled on the outside. In fact, what it looks like, it's more so an overflowing spread of factories sort of clumped together, and then far too many houses. And the distinctive thing about this city, as you're sort of approaching it, is the fact that you can tell there's a difference between the clouds of the storm above you as rain starts to fall, and the thick layer of smog that sort of overshadows the entire city. There's that sort of grimy feel to it, and you can see, even though it's morning, there's very little sunlight, and you can see the little specks of light coming from some buildings. And sure enough, like the ship is aiming towards the cove right now. Something you wanted to do as you're approaching the city, or
Nothing in particular. Just keeping an eye out, making sure nobody's approaching. Nobody's, I guess, looking on with too much inquiry, I guess.
right? No, it looks like I mean, there are a couple other ships coming towards Palin's Cove. There's one coming from the ocean, doing a little bit of a slow turn to sort of angle themselves behind the Misfortune. And you can see a couple ships are coming down the river towards the city as well. Yes, it is smog, not ever-present evil.
We were coming into the cove. We could see the lights from the town. You know, hey.
Yeah. But yeah, the ship goes into this sort of cavern area, and you can tell that there's a rather vast expanse of harbors, sort of protected by the natural sort of shape of this essentially sea cavern. And the Misfortune, sure enough, comes to a stop, and the anchors are lowered. And most of you would be either already awake or waking up as the ship suddenly comes to a full stop, and begins to sort of stutter before it fully stops, as the anchor sort of drags along the ocean's bottom. Yeah, I mean, again, is there anything any of you would like to do before you disembark and say your final goodbyes?
Yeah.
What do we know about Palin's Cove before we leave?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Those of you who are
The-
from... Actually, everyone give me a knowledge local.
So the other thing is just we want to decide: do we want to talk to the people on the boat, or do we just want to get out of here?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna develop a plan, we should probably do that on the boat. But if we're just gonna go grab some horses and get moving, then we can just do that.
Right. So, Robin and Erica. First, Grigori, this is your first time to Palin's Cove. You actually haven't heard of Palin's Cove in your entire life. It's on the opposite side of the fucking world to where you usually lived.
Yep.
Robin, Erica, you've heard of Palin's Cove? It's sort of a industrial city. There's not much to say about it. Silera, Sigis, the two of you do know a little bit more. It's not just that it's an industrial city. The main export from this city are the ballistas and trebuchets and catapults that are in use mostly in this city and in Corvosa. Um, and Palin's Cove is also the main sort of point of entry and exit for any merchants trading with Corvosa. They sort of make a stop in Palin's Cove before going to Corvosa, or they trade in Palin's Cove, and then those goods are transported via other means to Corvosa. And lastly, but by no means the least important, is the fact that Palin's Cove was founded first as the forefront fort for Corvosan expansion onto Verisia. And it is, to this day, that it still is an active military zone of control. Palin's Cove and Melfish are the two big areas that sort of concentrate the troops. Palin's Cove is a little bit more lax with security, however, as it does have a lot more trade that it needs to manage. Yeah, that's what you guys know about Palin's Cove. And from the looks of it, the ship, the Misfortune, is docked in not the main area, not the main hub, but rather a perhaps secluded area where you guys can enter the city by not exactly legitimate means, or perhaps by way of a special permit that is reserved for nobility and such.
Before we get off the boat, because Eric has got to go and cast the delay disease on Silera's dad anyway. Erica would kind of pull over everyone and say, well, based on what you and Sigis said about the Cove being a military stronghold, we probably want to try and keep a low profile and, get the horses and supplies we need and leave. If we need to stop for something, I'd say we just try to make for Hars faster. I don't like the idea of staying here, especially once news of the revolution makes it here. Thoughts?
Well, I just want to know, are we going by land, or are we going to find some shady individual to take us up the river?
I think it makes sense to, like, are there going to be roads? There'll be roads connected,
Yeah.
especially if this is a
Yes.
trading thing.
Yes.
For sure.
So
there's definitely a
think-
road that connects. I'll say this for everyone's knowledge. There are roads that connect Palin's Cove to Hars, and also Palin's Cove to Baselweef. And then from Hars to Janderhof is a little bit less of a transited road, but there would still be one.
all right. I think the road is nice just because, like, we have a lot more control on it, and none of us are great sailors or swimmers.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the area, and I know our horses are decent, well, the ones that we managed to keep anyway.
Well, let's go get ourselves some horses then.
Well,
I mean,
we
we're
have
missing,
3,
we're
but
miss-
yeah,
well,
we need a couple
we're
more.
missing, yeah, a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Actually, I'm pretty good at swimming. I just haven't needed to use it recently.
Yeah,
That is good to know.
I'm okay. I'm okay if I take off my armor, but only if I take off my armor, and that presents a problem for other aspects of what I try to do.
we
Uh,
could also skip a step, stay a little bit lay low, and Sigis, I don't know if you have or are aware of it, but there is a spell called Mount.
Yes, we could buy that one, but I figured having like real horses is more reliable and not
Fair enough.
super expensive. But yeah,
We also don't
I don't
want
know.
to
And
stay
I
here
also
too long, I don't think, to my
Yeah.
previous point.
Yeah.
I agree. I also just want to check in with Frank to see what's his plan. If
I'm
what
going
he
back to
has,
Barbosa.
they're going back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going
for
back.
Alright.
the orphanages, right?
Single orphanage, but yes.
Or the orphanage.
Got
He mentioned it on the way here, like as you guys were leaving Corvosa, that his plan is to return to Corvosa and make sure that the children of the orphanage that he runs are doing well, and if possible, to have them join him on the way out of Corvosa.
Man's a saint. Frank's the best.
I think Man's got a kid in that orphanage.
Well, also just would tell Frank, like, thank you so much for helping us get out, and obviously, you know, he's been awesome to us, and if we look forward to seeing him again sometime, and let us know if where there's ever something we can do for him, and yeah, just
Yeah,
good to have friends in the area.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's always a pleasure helping friends and family.
Mhm.
If there's one thing that you could help me with, if you ever do come across some cursed items on your travels, you know that I'm always on the lookout for a new purchase. Um, there's one item that I was looking for. I'll send you some if I'm still alive on the way out of Corvosa. I'll send a sending spell.
Okay.
That would
Let's
be
get the fuck out of here.
yeah. You
Mhm.
should hit the road.
All right. Peace.
All right. He sort of waves you off the ship.
May the inheritor protect you.
Likewise. Guys, question: are you taking your 3 horses with you that you do already have?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are the horses we saved with all of the spells.
they-
We don't want to
Yep.
not.
Are the
bring them.
horses now cursed from the ship or something?
No. My question is because you guys were talking about getting new horses.
No. We gotta pick. I think we need to pick up some more so that we can transport everyone without doubling up.
Yep,
Or
because we
tripling.
were missing one, right?
Yeah.
Also, if I had to get a new horse, it'd be really expensive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Because
then
work
I
training is important.
give Frank the letter and tell him to make sure Apollo is safe, if you can.
I'll make, as I said before, I'll make my best effort. But you saw how the city was looking. It's gonna be pretty hard to find anyone. If he's
I
smart,
understand.
he might have already exited. But I'll
God,
try.
I hope so. Thank you for everything.
Gives you a smile and a nod. Out of character, guys. Just a quick reminder: you guys are taking Mile and Anais with you, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I think that's why we
need to
needed the
clear
more
that.
horses.
Yeah, we need to.
Also,
carry
why
that.
we're stopping in Yanderhof. Otherwise,
Yeah,
we
yep,
wouldn't
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
And
It's
we
good-
also, do we want to look for while we're here, do we want to look for a possible caster, or do we want to kind of just,
I don't think this is the city to go
Palin-
around looking for.
This
fair.
is the place to be if we need
Palin's Cove is also. I don't think it's a big enough city to have the levels.
However, if you need a siege weapon, this is the place to go.
Yeah. Do you
I
want
mean,
a
Duly
catapult?
noted. For the
To
record.
be fair, we also are going to a dwarven city, so I'm sure their siege equipment is a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's so expensive.
True.
Their materials are better,
Yeah. Awesome.
but the
Oh, they
factories
got
here are
the-
pretty impressive.
They got the whole Torag thing on their side too, so they do have a nice artisanal production of things.
Jewelry is probably fantastic.
All the smithing.
all right. So we disembark.
Right, yeah, you
Disembark
guys get
your
off the ship,
beautiful-
taking your horses with you, and leaving behind the misfortune, Frank and his crew. Mael is gonna be riding a horse, probably Shadow Mist, as you guys are sort of walking, leading your horses through town. It doesn't take you too long to sort of get the lay of the land. It's very like a very methodical, very militaristically laid out city. The only areas that are a little bit confusing are when you are right next to the ocean or the river, where the streets sort of then bend and sort of go up and down, following the coastline. Everywhere else, it's just like perfectly straight, sort of almost a grid-like city. And sure enough, near the northeastern end of town, you would be able to find yourselves a rather large establishment that trades in horses. Um, as you sort of are approaching it, most I'll say up until now, the city has felt rather quiet. It's pretty early in the morning still. There's that sort of layer of smog that just gets everywhere. You feel like soot forming on your shoulders, your clothes. And Mael is having a little bit of a difficult time breathing. He's sort of holding a handkerchief to his mouth. But as you guys sort of approach the stables, a couple armed men follow what looks like a merchant out the front door, and they approach, or they sort of gesture towards you guys, sort of acknowledging that you're coming towards the establishment. Good morning, good morning. How can I help you, fine gentlemen and ladies, this morning? What is it that you're in? Stallion, perhaps?
We are in need of some horses, please. I look at everyone. Two, three,
Four?
four, two. Okay.
Yeah,
Two.
there.
Definitely
I was gonna
two.
say we don't. I think there are some people that need to ride double right now. So
Correct.
Got ya.
Yeah,
3 horses.
because it's
then.
Erica and Male, because Erica's immune.
yeah,
And then Grigori, Robin, Silaire, and her mom, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, hold on.
Sigus and Corax. No,
Four,
wait, not
Robin,
Corax.
We
Rip.
only need 1 horse.
Yeah, if you
Oh
just
yeah, we.
yeah, or you could get 2 horses and then
Spread it out.
Yeah, spread it
Yeah.
out.
I think spreading it out so that we can carry
Yeah.
rations or whatever
Or
might be a
having
good idea.
extra horses, like
Yeah.
I horses should
two.
be within our budget for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
For sure.
You let us know. You're the one who manages the money. Robin's like
Well-
looking at him like, yeah, we're gonna buy 2 horses. You should know if we can buy 2 horses. You're the one with the numbers. Okay.
Like horses, like yeah, we're rolling in. We have like that. We're in the thousands, so
Hell
we'll
yeah.
be fine.
So
Don't
2
tell him that though.
2 horses then, for my ladies and lords. What exactly are you looking for in terms of training and qualities? Are we looking for something a little bit more lean, something fast? Are you heading out for a hunt?
No, just traveling long distance, so I guess lean, right?
A little bit
Yeah,
leaner,
sh-
light horse then.
Okay.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like sourdough
light riding
here,
horse.
kind of patting sourdough's flank.
Right, of course.
Or-
We do have a pair that is ready to go. If you can wait a day, we can fetch you a couple combat trained horses just in case anything should come around to trouble you in your journeys.
I think that's a good idea. Because
I don't think waiting a day is a good idea. I think
Yeah.
we
What
should
do
get
you
the fuck
have?
out of there.
What do you have available at this moment?
Right now, I have. There's 3 lighter traveling horses, and then we have 2 a little bit stouter ones. One of them is a stallion. Keep around for breeding, but he's a mighty fine steed himself.
I don't know about the rest of you. I think the light horses would do fine for our purposes. It's just travel after all.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's long travel, but it's not like we're gonna push them to their limit or anything. God
No.
willing.
Going down the road, so.
True. 2 of your light ones, please.
Right. Discerning customers, I see. That would come up to a grand total of 200 gold pieces, if you're inclined to pay up front.
Is that what a horse costs? Question mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
A little bit steep. It should be 150 if you were going by a market price.
It's a little steep. I don't know. I say we give it to him.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna complain
Yeah,
about.
let's solve this problem with money. As long as they're good horses. Let's see the horses first.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as they're not like
Yeah.
crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at them first, and
Yeah.
then we'll see. We'll negotiate.
Right, of
prices.
course. Allow me to fetch.
Of course, a horse, of course.
Of course.
Oh.
He goes. He sort of gestures for the stable boy to fetch 2 horses. And sure enough, they bring out the 2 mighty fine steeds. I have added them to the mounts area just for you guys to see them for a moment. He says, right. So here we have our finest available horses. You can see, perfectly healthy and quite vibrating with energy.
Do they really look healthy though?
They look fine to me.
You could
Do
give
we
me
have to roll a check?
Yeah, give me a handle animal check, I suppose.
Now these are goods. I'm gonna roll an appraise.
You can roll me an appraise. Sure, I'll allow it.
Yikes.
Here, I'm pretty good
They
at
are-
that animal.
They look pretty
There
healthy.
you go.
Pretty.
Yikesigus. At
Uh,
first I thought that was mine.
Pony.
I swear to God it was mine, and I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
how did I roll a 14 but get a 4? And then I was
Dude,
like,
you're a
oh.
ranger. Why'd you say, bruh?
Dude,
Oh,
I have
charisma,
I have a single
right.
skill point in it, and
Right.
it gives me a +3 total.
Right.
charisma. The 3 of you who have handled horses quite often in your life, either by noble birth or by trade, you can tell that these horses are maybe not incredible. They are no Pashka or Shadow Mist, but they're pretty good. They're fine breed and they look pretty healthy and well rested, which probably is the most important part right now.
Awesome.
We'll take them.
How much are they again?
200.
200. So he's overcharging us by
Okay.
like a full quarter.
If we don't ask questions, he won't ask questions. Pay
Yeah,
him
we can,
Yeah,
we can
that's
solve this problem with money.
That's
Yeah.
where
Here's
I'm
money.
at. If we got the money for it.
We definitely do.
What's 50 gold pieces? Whatever.
Yeah, honestly.
Like,
Mhm.
Robin and
Well,
I are like,
for
what is
anyone
money?
for anyone
Yeah.
but adventurers and nobles, that's a huge
a lot.
thing. But
No,
Yeah.
it's like a
that's
I
like
think
your
it's
wage
five-
for a couple
5
of
years?
Yeah.
it's 5
Yeah.
years of
The
wage.
two rich kids are just like, yeah, fucking pay him, whatever.
It's
yeah.
a sixth,
Like, what,
a
whatever, what
sixth
is
of
money?
a masterwork weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
a
Eric
year's
I'm sure
salary for like 40 commoners.
Like,
Erica looks at
Shit.
looks back at you two going like, yeah, just pay him, and I'm like, and it's kind of like, okay.
So I
So
love
much
the
money.
discrepancy between you guys going just pay it, and the other group they have Layla who's like, I'm not paying a goddamn penny over what I need to. Just a funny contrast between the two groups.
Well,
we
bullets are
we don't
expensive,
mind-
So...
yeah. We don't mind paying money. We just we do that when we like people are trying to give us money. We're like, no, more money.
We don't
Yeah,
like
precisely.
dying. We don't like getting in situations that cause bodily harm.
Oh, but we keep
So if
doing
we can
that.
spend money, and not
Die?
obtain bodily harm,
Perfect.
that's great. Let's do it.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys have at your disposal now the 2 horses. They come with the bed and bridle, and they include attached to the saddle, sort of one of the bags, feed for 2 days for each of the horses.
Okay. And they can also just graze too, right?
Yeah, they can graze as well. The feed is sort of like the it's higher energy food essentially. It's like if you're pushing
It's
your
starch.
horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're pushing your horses all day, several days in a row, you're gonna need to feed them a little bit better. Well, better, a little bit more high energy content food. But yeah, you guys hand over the gold. He sort of weighs it, puts it on a scale next to him. Right, my apologies for the inconvenience. Enjoy your new mounts, and I hope the weather clears up for your journeys ahead.
Should clear
Thank
up
you,
once
sir.
we leave.
Yeah,
Thank
I was
you,
gonna
sir.
say it'll be nice to get out of the smog.
Let's
Well,
get out of here.
a visit to Palin's Cove is never complete with a little bit of smog. But good luck. Have a good day. And he sort of waves as he sort of snaps his fingers and goes back indoors with his two bodyguards.
He's like, "Dah, I'm rich."
I mean,
pretty much.
pretty much.
He's gonna stop working early today. He probably pegged the two like
We
Mal
turn
and
around. He just
Mal and
flips the
everyone.
open sign to closed.
Close
Oh,
like-
Eva.
As we're leaving, I'm just gonna rain his house with arrows.
rude.
Cause
Hold
it
up,
to be at
guys.
least
I'll be
at
right
least
back. Robin comes
house.
back with all of our money. Hey, man. Hey. It's what I'm good at, okay?
So-
Yeah. Anyway.
You guys now have your horses. I'm guessing, distribute your people amongst the horses, and if you want to, the streets are still pretty empty. It looks like between the little drizzle of rain, drizzle of rain that is falling, and the smog and how early it is, nobody is really going out. It feels a little bit deserted, the city.
How long's the trip to Yanderhof anyway? Is it like a couple days or
Couple
is it?
days.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's get started. I say.
Before
Also,
we leave,
We gotta name the
Uh,
horses.
yeah, just want to check to
Um,
make sure Father is good to, if he needs to rest or if he's okay to keep going.
He sort of once we get out of this blasted city, I'll be better.
Okay.
Oh, this air is bad for me.
Agreed.
Here,
You heard the
can
man.
you can use my water skin for now, so that you're not, so that we can keep it isolated from everyone else's.
Thank you kindly. And he'll take a swig of water, and yeah, you guys can start marching on to the edge of town. And even though there's no wall, there are several sort of what looks like pretty sturdy guard towers. And a couple guards sort of come out of those towers as you guys are approaching, and they sort of look over you guys, but they don't sort of gesture for you to stop or anything. They just look quite intently, almost like perusing you with their eyes. They pass on by. Like anything gonna happen, and a couple moments later, you're out of the city, onto the open roads.
On the
Fresh
road
air.
again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Just so beautiful.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's gonna be a long couple days because it's gonna be a full day travel until you guys get to Hars, and then from Hars to Janderhof, it's gonna be a little bit longer than a day. It's not quite 2 full days. It's gonna be somewhere in between, say. Though the one thing you will notice is, as you're about 2 hours into your journey from Palin's Cove to Paris, the storm doesn't let up. Or the rain doesn't let up. It becomes a storm as water just starts pouring on you guys. And it's like as you look around and up and onto the horizon, it looks like from the south, everything's just pitch black. It looks like a storm that is not going to be passing over in a couple hours. It looks like it's going to be the better part of the day, if not longer, that you're going to be traveling with this torrential storm.
We could just set up a camp, or we could just power through. But
I mean, I don't
Does it-
have a tent.
Yeah.
oh, you guys didn't
I
pack
don't-
a tent?
It's alright. I have a tent that is big enough for 4 people.
Well, we could turn one of the tents into a tarp if we need to. Set up kind of a shelter.
I don't think it's good to leave mail in the rain.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm.
So, we're kind of in a rush right now, though.
Well, now that we're out of the city proper, we have a little more leeway.
Well,
mean,
we're
I-
still sort of in a rush, though, because we want to make sure that mail gets the attention that he needs, and we also need to get to Turtleback Ferry like a week ago.
Pronto,
So,
yes.
I mean, as long as you're casting, you out of character, you're casting delay disease on him, right?
Yes, every morning, basically.
Okay,
is the
so
plan.
as long as he has that, I feel like we can still rush it. So Robin's gonna be like, we need to just like push on through, and like when we get to Hearth, like we can just like rest until like noon.
Yeah.
What do you think? And I mean, she'll kind of indicate to Mail and your mother as well, and be like, I mean, ultimately, it's up to you three. I think we're all well enough to continue pushing forward in the rain.
I think getting out of this rain would do me quite a bit of good. If the horses can make it.
Can I ask what the terrain's like here?
It's open plains. There's a right now you're walking on a half cobblestone road, half dirt. Like it's not really a cobblestone road. It more so it's like they threw some cobblestones down just to make sure that a mudslide wouldn't happen towards, like it wouldn't slide towards the river. So. And every now and then you do see like a post, like a wooden post with a little bit of a Corvosan flag sort of flying.
Gaia. So not gonna find any shelters anywhere.
Doesn't look like it.
All right.
Well,
I
Father,
guess
how did
we'll-
I know that you were going to be stubborn and not want to stop?
Well, you you do know me.
You come by it honestly, Celera.
All right, I guess we keep heading onward and pray that the storm eventually lets up.
And so you guys keep pushing on, and while the storm doesn't quite part or leave you to your own devices, it does let up somewhat. What moments ago had suddenly become this sort of essentially buckets of water dropping on you for a moment. It lets up and becomes a normal sort of rain, not a heavy rain, but a rain. But it's still there, and you can tell like the storm is sort of starting to break in the horizon. This is about 2 hours later in your journey. It's starting to break in the horizon, and you can tell like the clouds are moving pretty quickly above you. And the rain is slowly, as you keep going towards Hearth, becoming a little bit lighter and lighter. Until eventually, you guys can see off in the distance a little bit of light coming from the town. And this is already like pretty late into the day. It's hard to tell what time it is, but it's close to dusk, and you can see the lights of Hearth in the distance. Yeah, you guys I don't know if you guys wanted to go into the town. I do know that you guys had mentioned at one point swimming for some reason.
We do need to get to the other side of the river, so there's probably a ferry. But
Ferry or a
I
bridge, whatever.
I think
Yeah.
after that ride through the storm, like, it would be a good idea to rest, but Mail also probably needs the rest,
Yeah.
and it's
We just need
nighttime
to.
anyways.
We need
So
to be careful when if we're taking him into an inn or anything. Otherwise, we'll spread the contagion. No, assuming that it spreads to like surfaces.
as long as nobody makes contact with him, it should be fine. So if you piggyback him and he just holds a kerchief
Well-
over his face, then it should be fine.
I was thinking if perhaps you guys went in and got a room, and then we bring him in once we bring him in once we confirm that there's a clear path without a lot of people up to the room.
We can
Yeah.
manage it. It should
Yeah.
be fine.
That sounds good to me.
Maybe don't lead with we have someone with plague.
That's
Just say
yeah.
there's an
that's
elderly
what I
gentleman
was
who
concerned
caught
about.
cold in the storm, so we're gonna bring him through. Just make sure that like people aren't in the way so that we can get him to his room.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Sounds
will
good.
say I'm not elderly. I'm still in my prime.
I mean, if you play it up, they might question you slightly less.
Fine.
Precisely.
Hush.
I don't have any of the acting talents in the family, though.
You're talking to a paladin. We're not known actors.
It's okay, Dad. I got this.
Thank you, dear. And with that, you guys approach Hearth. And sure enough, the town is still active, but it is a small town, especially coming from Palinskov and Corvoza. This is like a hamlet almost. It's probably got about like 3, maybe 400 people right now. Actually, no, it's a little bit larger than that. It's about 500 to 600. But a lot of that bulk of people is merchants. You can see there's across from when you guys are arriving are the docks of Horus that hold small ships, very much so appear to be ferries to cross the river back and forth, both the Sarwin and the Falcon River. And sure enough, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It has a large wooden sign with a bed and a tankard of ale strapped to the outside of its door. You quickly find a lovely little tavern / inn to stay at. The Dizzy Giant is the name of the tavern, which would be carved in beautifully embolded letters underneath the drawing on the sign. And sure enough, you guys sort of open up, and you do see that. Actually, who would be leading the charge into the inn?
Probably my mother.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
Probably.
Like, she is fucking tired of being in this storm and riding all day. So sure enough, Anais is like, gets off the horse. It's like, all right, I'll handle the room. Just make sure you get everything off the horses. And she sort of hands over
Denise, before you go in, maybe I don't know what you plan to do, but probably play down the nobility thing. We don't really want people tracking you guys to Yanderhof if we can avoid it.
Sweetheart. I was never one to play nobility cards. But
Okay.
I do appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, the
concern.
sentiment's there. I am just thinking at the same time as I'm talking.
All right.
Out of
Just-
character, I'm dying right now.
Just a recommendation for life in general. Think first, speak to yourself in your mind, and then speak outwards. It'll help with a lot of conversations, especially around nobility. And she sort of gives you a little bit of a smile, a smirk. And she hands you the reins to her horse as she heads back into the inn.
Well, she's fun.
I'm like
Uh,
trying to not laugh.
Laugh if you want to laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say that was on brand for
Look,
Paladin states the obvious.
yeah, no, I mean, it's also now you know where Cylera gets her personality from, I guess. But yeah, you see Anais going into the tavern. I don't know if you guys wanted to follow immediately after or if you're waiting for her to come out.
Well, Robin's got his own horse, so he's gonna take the horse around to wherever the stable is here.
Yep.
And then head in.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So you guys sort of go back and around where you can see that there's some other horses stabled there. And sure enough, like by the time you get back to the front door, Anna is sort of already walking out with a gentleman in tow. Says, right, that over there is my husband. So if we could go back in there as quickly as possible and get him a warm bath, that he doesn't catch anything, that'd be wonderful. And you do like overhear the man says, "Really, that's nice. Husband? Look a little bit. Sorry, never mind. Right, this way." And he sort of gestures towards the open door, towards for you guys, for Erica. Holding Mael, sort of opens a hand and gestures for you to head inside.
Before Robin goes in, he's gonna be like, "Hey, Stigus, I just really wanted to thank you for these gloves." And he's gonna press a digitation himself clean of rain and mud, and he's gonna head inside.
You're suddenly dry and not exactly warm, but at least like not freezing with that sort of cold autumnal rains.
He'll snap another pair of fingers, and he'll be in like a little bit of a cozier, warmer, like robe kind of thing. And got
wait,
nice.
Do those gloves let
sleeves
you
of many
change your-
garments as well.
Oh my god, you're right.
So I'm just like cleaning myself and putting on some nice, warm, cozy, like indoor clothes.
Are you
not
just
traveling
changing
clothes.
into a robe with loafers?
He's becoming the
mean,
dude.
Pretty much. I'm pretty much gonna roll hef right now.
All right.
I'm just gonna be like, yeah, indoor clothes instead of traveling clothes,
Sure. Robin, as you walk, as you snap your fingers twice, and you suddenly are dry, clean, and your clothes become these comfortable robes to walk around in. People sort of look at you as like, whoa, like you clearly can tell like that's more magic than the average folk will see. Not only in their day to day, probably in months. It's not a common occurrence. And there's a little bit of a lull in the conversation and the sort of rambunctiousness of a tavern as they watch you do this. And then you hear a little bit of a whisper, and then the conversation starts to grow back up. And you hear the clattering of glasses and cutlery and whatnot.
I'm assuming we all walked in. Did we all walk in?
Yeah,
as
you're
a
all
group,
sort
or
of
was
walking
Robin
in as a
doing
group,
that?
I think. Robin was the first one after Anais to go in.
Okay. No sense in trying to avoid that then. All right. Well,
Right.
let's head up to the room.
Yeah, follow me this way. It's just up the stairs, and I'll fetch you some hot water for the bath. Right. Second room on the left. Once you go up these stairs, and he sort of goes with you up to the stairs and sort of points to the left, so redundantly, and then moves past you towards what looks like the kitchen to fetch you some hot water. But yeah, you guys. Anais actually hands you, Erica, a key. Says, "This is the key for that room. I have the rest of the keys for the other rooms. Just go.
Yep.
And make sure that he changes clothes. Even if he says he's fine. But
Robin, Robin, can you come with us? The prestidigitation would come in handy here.
Got it. If you say so.
So
Like
the
how you
thing-
don't the actual wizard.
I can't cast prestidigitation. All my cantrips they're all divination spells, so they take up 2 slots. I get 2 cantrips.
Oh my god.
It's brutal.
Damn.
Don't pick divination as an opposition
You
spell.
know, you can learn other cantrips in your spell book and then prepare those instead, right?
But then I wouldn't have read magic or detect magic, which are if I want to like cast
Yeah.
from
I mean,
scrolls and yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm a nice guy who made him nice gloves, and he was a dick about it. It's okay. I'm glad.
Siggers has gloves.
Really? Thank you for these gloves. Hey, I thanked you, and then I fucking showed you how good they are. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Maybe he's showing off the wonderful gift he got from his friend.
I'm glad he's enjoying it. I'm not upset at all. It was just, I thought it was funny to characterize it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys get. I mean, unless there's something specific you want to do, it seems like Hars is a pretty chill town. The Dizzy Giant is a pretty calm tavern. There's not that many people here that saw you come in. There's like 5 people in 2 different groups. One group of 3, one group of 2. I mean, you guys can have a meal, change clothes, dry up, and go to bed if you'd like. But
That
Anais,
sounds great.
yeah, Anais will sort of takes a moment after you guys have settled in to go to talk to the innkeeper. And you would be able to see her as you guys are sort of having a drink or having dinner probably. I'll say it is during dinner, and Anais will sort of after a moment come back to the table and says, "Right, so I was asking the gentleman how to get across the river. It seems that there is a ferry that works regular shifts, so we should be able to cross in the morning. The fees are about, like, I think he said a silver a head, and then another for the horses, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem."
Horses have a head each. Makes sense to me.
Perfect.
Okay. So again, is there anything you guys would like to do right now before the day comes to an end?
Just as that, kind of have dinner and like kind of hang. Sigus is gonna hang out in the tavern, just to kind of like try and eavesdrop, not like aggressively eavesdrop, but just like try and take in the mood and maybe hear some things. Yeah, that's just kind of where he's gonna post up.
All right, you're sort of trying to get a lay of the land.
of the land.
A lay of the people, technically here, but yeah. Go ahead and give me
Spellcraft?
Perception, sense motive. Local.
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Sorry,
Amazing.
I was my brain was
Holy
natty
shit.
20.
Oh, holy
Damn.
shit.
Well, that'll help.
damn. All right.
-4 of using leeches. Yeah, no fucking shit.
So
I am not
hey man, can you help
currently.
me out? Oh my god, you have leeches on your face.
Yeah, I would not trust you with your
It's
friendly
actually
nature as
in
well.
the item too, which is hilarious.
right. So Siggis, you probably hang back while everyone else was sort of probably finishing their preparations for tomorrow. Already feeling probably a little bit sleepy after dinner, or just generally trying to hang out in private. You hang back and stay in the tavern. And at one point, one of the groups, the group of 3 people, sort of notices that you're a little bit low. They seem to have been having a pretty good time having some drinks. And one of the 3 men sort of pulls out. It's like, "Hey, you want to join us? Still has some drinks left."
Yeah, I'd love to.
Come on in. And they sort of kick one of the chairs outwards, and sort of in your general direction. Right. So Earl here and I were talking about conscription. They're paying pretty good. I don't know if you heard about it. We're thinking about joining. Pretty good coin.
Really? What's it paying?
Oh, it's paying like silver a week. It's pretty good.
It's pretty solid. Solid job. You
Yeah.
know, consistent pay, food.
Yeah, it's pretty good offer, especially because you don't need any kind of preparation, any kind of fancy titles and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I prefer to keep working the farm, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a lot of money.
Absolutely. And do you mind if are they doing a big push, or is this just the normal conscription?
Yeah, I know that. It started like a couple of weeks ago. They got like a pamphlet. Posted it in Harris sort of thing. Hall. Yeah, the town hall. That's it. They posted it there. It was my wife read it to me. Something about is it Queen Earl? Yeah, it was a queen something. She was looking for fine folk to join the army. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, you seem like a strapping fine folk. And it gives him a little, slap on the shoulder, like very casually.
He sort of looks down at you. You see his brows furrow for a second. Sort of lifts his hand. You feel it sort of slap your shoulder. Yeah, we are pretty fine fucking. Anyway, so where'd you come from? You don't look like yeah, he doesn't look like he's from around here. We get it, Earl. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, well, I did, something similar to you, not for the queen, just, working for this, traveling with her and helping her out, just, for some, the regular pay and the food. Say, do you have one of those pamphlets?
No, it's just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah, it's the one back at the town hall.
God. Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest. I don't know why they put it up there. It's supposed the town caller should have been calling it out morning, but I don't know. Nailed it up in the wall.
God, well,
Another thing about
thanks.
it. Earl, you've seen Mayor Salisbury anywhere? I think he still hasn't paid me for the sheep.
These
no.
piggies, they're just totally wasted.
Yeah,
This is why I do it. I'm not sly. They're just that drunk.
They're very drunk. They are also very clearly not bright people from the looks of it. And from the way that they were talking, one of them at least is illiterate.
Nice.
The third man is just straight up passed out on the table. just to be clear. Yeah.
So he'll try and he'll wave at the bartender and ask, signal for 4 more, and then he'll look at the passive, 3 more. And then
look, no, sorry, I can't serve you. I can't serve Earl another one. He gets really violent once he has too much.
Oh.
Hey!
Okay.
I
Well-
know. Like he stand up and slams both.
He'll
his
try
hands
and he'll try to defuse, be like, well, take the money and the one his beard your one tomorrow night or next time you're in is on me.
and-
Nope. And he'll lean in and say Lewis is like, and you could have a tiny bit of let's figure it. He'll just mumble at him like,
yeah.
he'll hope.
Hey, that's a pretty good deal. I like this
Mhm.
one. Fine, fine. I'll put it on his tab then.
Mhm.
And a moment later, Earl sort of sits down. He looks very content, as he sort of
Amazing.
leans back on his chair, and you see his eyes sort of. What were we talking about?
You just telling me that you're thinking of joining up, and we were having a chat, and yeah, I think it was saying I'm tired and I might be heading to bed shortly.
Yeah,
But
he
it was a
was-
pleasure meeting you.
Yeah. Well, have a good night, man. Have a good night. Yeah, have a good
Mhm.
night.
Sigus will kind of take his leave of the common area, and he'll do it before he leaves. He'll do a quick scan to see if anyone is like more sober and actually like paying attention to him. But he'll go up, and he's gonna tell the crew that we should swing by town hall because he thinks the queen is building an army.
I think the army's already been built, to be
Well,
honest.
she's building a bigger army.
That's fair.
So
Also, it sounds like the town crier or mayor might be missing based on what they were saying, but
yeah. So, anyways, I thought it was a good thing we might want to just check in, just check on, like, read that notice at least, on our way out.
You're
if
sort of
we're
having this
looking-
conversation probably in one of the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Not my queen, not my problem. That's what I say.
Actually, she is your queen.
Dang it!
I was about to say that. I feel like I think
Yeah.
you're technically or
And a sudden influx of
nobility.
a sudden influx of trained soldiers with not a lot of stuff to fight, or like that's how the banditry quickly comes from that. So we should just be more aware that we might run into a ton more soldiers on the road.
The way you described it, it sounds like they're specifically hiring people who are not trained.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, but anyways, I just think we should try and read this notice to see if anything comes of it.
Agreed. It might be worth pulling down and taking with us, honestly.
Hmm.
I would rather we not add poor farmers that don't need to die to the ranks of that army.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right. So, with that conversation seemingly done, I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanted to do before heading to bed.
Shortly after the meal, I think Grigori would just head out and just tend to their horses himself. Make sure that they are cared properly for. He just doesn't. He feels uneasy in this time.
Go ahead. I think Erica, you were about to say.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know whether this would be in the evening or in the morning after she does her prayer thing, but she would probably want to just take like a kind of quick wander around town. I guess we can do that while we're stopping by City Hall just to see what, like, if there's anything notable going on, or but yeah, that can be done on the way to City Hall.
Okay.
I would.
Yes.
Sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would probably have my food and go back upstairs. Just because I'm trying to receive as little attention from anybody as possible, and kind of trying to stay in the shadows because I'm still kind of unsure of what's out there, and I
Okay.
don't know if we're still being, sought after. So I'm just gonna kind of lay low.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean, this conversation happened after dinner, so Salero went downstairs, grabbed her dinner, and had been eating in her room and sort of trying to keep away from people for sure. Um, but I suppose that then there's nothing left to do that night. Um, so morning will come, and when it does, you will be greeted by the fact that rain has passed over, and finally get a little bit of a gray-skied morning, but morning nonetheless. There's no rain. There's a pleasant wind, a little bit chilly, caressing the people. But aside from that, Miles seems to be a little bit well rested.
Is he healing some of that con damage now that he's not taking more?
He seems to be doing slightly better. His skin has regained some of its natural sort of bronze color, um, but he still does look older than he should look like. AKA, he looks pretty sick. And he's sort of a little bit uneasy as he walks around, but he's walking, which is a drastic improvement.
I'm going to boop him again with the delayed disease and be like, um, Maya, let me further delay the progress. It seems to be allowing you to heal somewhat, which is promising.
Thank you. I'm feeling better than I have in weeks.
Well, you're walking, which is quite striking considering that you were nearly bedridden when we left.
Yeah, it's feeling quite better. Since our boat ride, I've been feeling a bit calmer. I think the fresh air is doing.
Al
I
said
think-
that salt air always helps with that.
Yeah, being out of Corvosa, I think would help too. It's quite a bustling town or city.
Yeah, it is. It is quite like. Anyway, where are we heading next? And as he's saying that, he's walking right through the inn, and sort of you guys are walking down the stairs probably. He's like walking, but he's not very stable. Like he's grabbing onto the railing on the stairs, and like as he walks on through the hallways, he puts a hand on the wall at all times, and he's like walking very slowly.
I'll follow behind him and press the digitation everything he touches. Just be
All
like,
right.
make it clean.
All right.
I was gonna say,
Also, in case he
well,
falls, kind of thing.
Erica's kind of trying to keep pace with him and just like, I'd prefer if we got you, if you're gonna walk around on your own and not use one of us for support, that maybe we get you a cane temporarily or something.
Robin's gonna go into his fanny pack, whip out his any tool, flick it into a cane. Here you go.
Just so you're not leaving whatever illness you have around.
Oh, thank you. I never thought of getting one of these for myself. Frank was very fond of having one of these.
Of the illness, it's probably messing with your balance or what have you. So, you know,
It's the muscles. I haven't been walking for weeks. It's
use them or lose them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And although still quite unsure of his footsteps, I mean, he's now using the walking cane and walking alongside you guys.
All right, good stuff. Once he gets to the horses, I'll press the digitation it clean, and then pop it back in my bag and all that.
All right.
Also, I could definitely sleeves with many garments into a maid outfit to just clean everything with my fucking Lysol gloves. Perfect.
I
I
just
just
have this.
finger gun the spots, and I go.
I'm picturing
"Make
Robin
it
as
clean."
a French maid at this
Yeah.
point, and it is an interesting.
Yeah, I had to post that in the Discord server. It's like I just have this image now of Robin in like an awkward French maid costume running around with the alcohol spray bottle. Like,
Oh my god.
Lemony fresh.
Lemony fresh. But yeah, you guys have a quick meal at the tavern, breakfast, very briefly before leaving. And I mean, you grab your horses. Mile gets back on the horse.
I think we were stopping by the town hall briefly.
Oh,
on
did
the
you
way
want
in.
to? Yeah, I had assumed that you guys would take the horses with you, but that's a
Oh
good
yeah,
question.
no, we can do that. I mean, I
mean-
don't think it matters too much.
The tavern is in the middle of the town.
Prestidigitation his room too,
Okay.
before we leave, just so
Gotcha.
that like people don't end up also getting sick.
All right. Very fair point. The inn. The inn is like sort of in the center of town. Town hall is to the north, which would put it close to the harbor. So it might be better for you to
Perfect.
sort of grab everything and go. If you want.
Okay, let's
Um,
do that.
Sounds great.
So yeah, you guys grab your horses, swing by the town hall, and sure enough, just like Earl and his friend, who you don't know the name of, mentioned, with a nail sort of almost in the middle of the pamphlet, you find the pamphlet sort of advertising the recruitment of soldiers. Who's reading it? Just to be clear.
I mean, Erica would be reading it
Right.
at some point, but I mean, I don't know who's going first.
I could read it out loud if we want someone to read to the crowd.
Yes, let's have the nerd do it.
Right. So this is just,
Okay.
Masses
I was
go.
asking more
Okay,
so
guys.
for setting up the scene. So Sigis, you woke up, sort of. You need to, in order to like really get close enough to the building, you have to get off your horse, walk up a couple steps, and you reach the door, to which the pamphlet has been affixed with a. Something that Earl and company failed to mention is the fact that the wording is somewhat strange. It is not a conscription notice. It says Queen Iliosa, concerned for the safety of our fair kingdom, is calling out to all volunteers, any fair men, strong of arms and healthy of body and mind, you'd come join her in uh, securing the future of our kingdom. And then at the bottom it simply says, payment, 1 silver coin per week. Should you die, payment shall be delivered to your family for 1 year henceforth.
Nice.
Okay.
Which is, although
Oh.
somewhat standard, it's quite generous of an offer.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't know if nice is the right word given what we saw her army just do.
And the fact that we paid 50 gold extra for a horse, and then when we compare it to the lives of these people, but we'll move on from that. Um,
That's why I was giving you guys the look that I was giving you when you
Mhm.
overpaid by 50 gold.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good.
Money means something.
Yeah, but
At least we
not
checked
really.
the horses first. Well, it was like, let's look at the horses. All right, they look like they're worth 200. Here you go.
Mhm.
They look like
Um,
horses. Yep.
We bought speed.
4
That's what-
legs looks great. I'll take them.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we have that info. I also think it's good I went. No one's gonna try and recruit this big boy. So yeah, unless people wanna, do we wanna check in the manager, or are we just kind of heading out?
I mean,
We know what
To-
we
to-
know. I
Yeah.
think we should
Yeah.
get going.
to be honest, probably the less important
Yeah.
people that we meet, the better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
as we're
And keep a
leaving,
low
like,
profile.
and as we're leaving, Robin
Ah.
will sort of like stick a hand under, his arm, like sort of scratch his back on the other side, and sort of just like snap his fingers towards the flyer and pull it off with a mage hand,
Nice.
and then continue just scratching his back as he whips the reins and goes forward.
Well done.
Smooth criminal.
Yep. So, damn it. Right. So you guys are heading towards the docks. Then is that the idea?
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
We're trying to get
Um,
across the river.
I mean, there's not much to be said. There's just a rather tired-looking man waiting by the docks, and sure enough, once you guys sort of approach, there's a little bit of a line. It looks like 3 other people are sort of waiting to load up. Most of them look like, sorry, the 3 of them look like merchants. And it seems like they have a couple chests that they need to load onto the ferry. But sure enough, once your turn comes up, the man goes, "All right, 1 silver for head. 1, 9, 10, 11, 13 of you. 12. Oh, there's 12 of you. 12 silver pieces." And he sort of stretches out a hand upwards. And like it's the type of person that you can tell like they are tired, but also their entire body just screams that they are tired. Like their skin is sort of stuck to their bones. Like they haven't ate anything in like a good couple weeks, kind of thing. And there's bags under their eyes. It's like,
Erica will lean over to Sigus and be like, "If you wanted to overpay someone, this would be the person you overpay."
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This guy's making pure profit. He's making a silver per head. That gets a lot of food. Dude's not starving. Dude might be sick, or just maybe he's just working a lot of hours, or maybe he owes somebody a whole fuckload of money. I don't know, man. Not my problem.
Can I do a quick check to see if he does look sick, or if he's just like?
sure.
So he's also could just be getting paid, and someone else is collecting most of the money.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah,
think
like
someone
he
else
owes
owns
people
Yeah,
the
we'll
money,
tip him on
and
the
yeah.
other side.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Give me a heal check, I guess. Yeah, heal check. Oh god, Pathfinder. Yeah, Pathfinder is heal. I mean, he looks somewhat malnourished, but it mostly looks like he doesn't sleep enough. Whatever it is that is keeping him up is.
Oh, so he's just on coke.
He's probably just a new father.
Damn it! You
Probably.
solved my new father riddle.
So how many
Um,
kids? 3 triplets? Okay, that sounds
Okay.
awful. Also, Robert, yes, that photo is exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I
that
immediately
is,
thought of
that is precisely what he looks like. Because I was about to say, he also has like this sort of kind of wispy, but mostly like wild hair. So apparently, wispy sounds too close to Bixby, and my phone heard me, and now it's searching for wild hair.
hell yeah, perfect. Honestly, as soon as you started talking, I immediately thought of the announcer from the provisional license exam
Yep.
for My Hero. I was like, oh my god, it's literally exactly what you're describing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Robin, as you say, like, so how many kids? Is it 3 or? Oh, it's just twins. They're
Just-
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Let
a
me
blessing
guess.
and
Let me
a
guess.
curse.
Boys?
No,
think-
girls. They will not stop screaming at night.
Don't worry, that just turns to hair pulling later.
Poor guy.
I'm too tired to cry. Just head onto the boat.
Hey, Sigus, do you know sleep?
Like,
The
yeah, but
spell? Like, do you just want to knock him the fuck out so he can sleep 8 hours?
yeah,
I don't
I want him
think
to row
that's
our
a
boat.
good idea.
Yeah, but like we get to the other side, we make him sleep.
I don't have it prepared.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think
Sorry.
it matters.
He,
Putting
he
this man-
also has a
I'm just
family.
gonna give this guy 8 silver pieces to round it up to an even 2 gold and
Yeah,
call that
Deal.
yeah.
a good
we'll just
deal.
give him
Call-
2 gold and keep the change. Yeah.
Call it your child's inheritance fund or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he's like, fuck them kids.
Fuck it, I'm going drinking.
Oh god, I both love and hate how much bullshit we do with this group.
It's like, let's cross the river. But wait, what's the gut ferryman's home life like?
I know. You're asking these questions, and in my head, I was
Just like, Celera doesn't give a shit about anybody else
right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, that's
She
that's
just
pretty,
don't.
that's pretty real. You just watch your family
Priorities.
get kicked out of your home.
Yep. Right, so you guys head onto the boat, and sure enough, a couple of moments later, the ferryman sort of goes back, follows you guys on. All right, we're departing now. Nobody move close to the edge of the rope. Like as he just drones on and on very slowly, and he pushes.
Robin starts walking across the river.
Wait, what?
Don't do that.
I can do that.
You
Wait,
have
how?
to land on solid ground
Yeah.
at the end of your movement.
Do I?
Yeah, you
I-
do.
If I keep taking the action, I can keep walking
No, in between, you need to be on a solid surface.
though. I'll read it.
Yeah.
So
If you're talking
Robin
about
tries to walk across
You
the
have,
water
you have
and
to
falls in
end
the
your
river.
movement
Jumps
on a
into the
solid
lake.
service.
Yep.
I'm pretty confident it's the exact wording.
we'll check on it after the session. For the time
Oh
being,
yeah. You're right.
let's just assume that you're not doing the really bizarre and very flashy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But next
But
time,
you're trying to
next
be low
time,
profile.
you'll probably
How
have a
about
better.
this? You try to, and Gregory stops you and is like, "We're trying to keep a low profile. Please stop doing these kinds of things."
Fair enough.
He's sort of doing the kids thing where like you dip into water, your feet into the water, but holding onto the side of the ship and like pull back in. I said kid, but I mean like teenager thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like you know how to walk on water. It's just like probably not the best idea. But yeah, you guys sort of very quickly get to the other side, where there's not really anything on the other side. There's a little bit of a dock that seems to be half rotten, not very well maintained. The ship stops there. The ferry stops there. Everyone gets off, and sure enough, the 3 merchants with their horses start to head west, along the riverbank, and the ferryman sort of when you guys wanted to pay him 8 extra silver, like close to twice as much as
Just 2 gold pieces.
Yeah,
basically.
we're just gonna round it
Yeah.
up to 2 gold.
yeah. So like when you pay him, he like goes wide-eyed for a moment, like starts to move the coins in his hand.
That's for you, and we'll be like, don't tell anyone.
Also, pro tip: if you just put a couple drops of bourbon in the baby's milk, they'll go right to sleep.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to him. Take good care of your daughters and try to get some sleep.
If
Fuck.
you want to sleep, a
Fuck.
couple drops of bourbon
Oh
each.
my god.
If I could afford bourbon, I would drink it myself. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
My
you.
parents always use vodka.
I'm not
That
surprised.
explains the
Gregory.
accent.
Explains a lot.
Because apparently it's the drinking that gives you the accent.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, with
With
that,
love is Russia.
he'll sort of wave, not very enthusiastically, or very enthusiastically if you consider his energy level, as you guys sort of leave, and he'll head back to the ship.
I really hope
Um,
we keep encountering him and he becomes our cabbage guy.
I hate that you now put that idea into my head.
He just takes these awful jobs everywhere, and he really keeps moving with the around us.
Every time we see him, he has another set of twins.
To be honest, though, it would be like the best character to have to, perform because he's so low energy. You don't have to put on like this crazy accent or anything.
Yeah,
It's just really
you
easy.
you just
So-
imitate your feeling when we start talking to random NPCs and delay the whole adventure. My whole bad.
It's every time that I need to come up with an entire new NPC that has a personality and some kind of background on the spot. It's like, it's just
Go with
it's just the ferryman, dude.
it's sleepy.
Sleepy Ferryman.
Sleepy ferryman.
Hey, it's the ferryman again.
But yeah, you guys get back on your horses, and sure enough, I mean, you don't quite make it to Jannerhof during the day. You know that you're not gonna make it, but you're making good time. The ground is a little bit uneven, and the road isn't cobblestoned anymore. It's just plain, open sort of plains, which is somewhat whatever. There's just that sort of slightly eroded area.
It's a path, basically.
Yeah, it's barely a path. At moments, you lose track of it. That's how little usage this one gets.
Can I roll, or I don't know if this is something I would roll, but I guess Erica would like to use her experience guarding stuff to attempt to assist in making sure that we don't run into something on the road.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me a profession guardsman. I think it's the one that you have. Yeah, profession
Yeah.
guard. Yeah. God damn it, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean you haven't exactly guarded a caravan, but you've heard of the kind of training that goes into that. And you know the kind of mentality that most low common criminals have. Open plains like these, unless there's some kind of like rocks or a thicket nearby, it's very hard to set up an ambush because the distance that you can spot them at is far too large. However, I mean there are
figured
some thickets here and there. It's just a matter of if you were to swerve away from them, you should be fine and you should be safe of any kind of ambush.
Yeah. Erica will kind of chirp that out, and I don't know, I'm assuming Grigori's got eyes for animals and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I keep my eyes out for everything.
Okay. Then yeah, as you use Erica's expertise and roll it with a little bit of a keen eye on Grigori, you guys manage to make it through the day without any kind of inconvenience. And as it begins, the sun begins to fall, you start to notice that the path is starting to get a little bit more noticeable. And it's around that time where you should be thinking about making camp that you see that the path is actually cobblestone now. And it's not just the few loose pieces of cobblestone. No, it's just like straight up a road. A thin road, but a road nonetheless. I mean, up to you guys if you want to push it through the night or if you sort of want to do a little bit of a stop and reassess. You know, take a moment to camp and keep going in the morning.
What do you all say? I do need to be able to sleep at some point so I can recast my spell, but
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
prep. Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
I think it
You're
might
ready.
be best if we rest. We don't really know what's going on around here in the nighttime. So I feel like it's probably best if we decide to camp instead of going through the night. I don't know what everybody else thinks though.
I think it
Whatever's
makes
out here can't be worse than a horde of ghouls. So I say we just get to Yanderhof and just chill with the dwarves.
I don't see any reason to rush this, especially with the sick father.
Yeah.
My
And if-
only reason for rushing would be to get the turtle back faster, but I agree. I think my L takes precedence here.
And I have a spell that I can cast on someone, or myself, that'll make they can stay awake all night, and it still counts as them sleeping. And I can also
I
send.
don't need to sleep. So
Okay, perfect. So, and then I could send
I'm good.
I'll be
Murdoch
honest,
ahead a bit to scout.
I could use the rest if we camp.
Still have those helmets from the assassins.
Yeah, we do.
So out of character, they changed shape into just like normal magic items, not red mantis helmets, right?
Correct. They look like
So-
the kind of clothing
They
that
are
you would expect from a brigand.
They're still red mantis helmets, though. It's not
Mhm.
like they're a different thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that they may have had that appearance because they had that appearance while the red mantis was alive. But I mean, Sigus, you identified them and you found out like what they did, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
So,
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
did.
I
Yeah,
thought
you
we
did,
right?
You did,
identified
you did.
them as red mantis helmets, and that's just what they do when they're taken off their wearer, so that they don't
'Cause
get
it gives
ID.
I'll
you-
put one on. See what happens.
You're putting one on?
Yeah.
I'll
just see what
cast
happens.
detect magic before he
That sounds
does
like a
that.
terrible idea. I don't know why you're doing this right this moment.
Because they give dark vision
Oh, gotcha.
I was gonna say,
and
why
see
don't we-
invisibility.
Right,
why don't we
Robin.
just use a torch.
You put the helmet on, and it's the helmet. It
Yep.
matches a set of hides, like a hide armor. So it's like
Kind of like a headband, sort of.
no,
Almost?
no.
Like a coif?
No, it's more close to what like a Viking would wear.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
It's like, is it like a half helm or something?
Yeah, it's a
where,
half
where
helm.
it kind of comes down the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Like the
um,
fucking Skyrim helmet.
Except with the
no,
horns.
not the Skyrim helmet. One of give me 1 second. One of these. Ah, come on,
Oh,
load.
damn.
If the image would load for me, please. Image. There we go.
Um,
There you go.
in the
I posted it
meantime,
in Discord.
So like a Skyrim guard helmet.
Oh yes, a Skyrim guard helmet. You're not wrong in there. Yes, I was thinking about the iconic Skyrim helmet, which is the one with the horns. But yeah, sorry, I thought you were mentioning the iconic Skyrim, but no, it does look like a guard helmet.
Okay.
I mean, it's you feel some latent connection to the item because you can feel that it is sort of magical. You know that it is.
So
you see in the dark now? Like what's
I gotta
happening?
activate it. I gotta figure out what the command word is.
I feel like this is a terrible idea.
It's not his best idea,
Probably.
no, but I mean.
But for
we
all the
also
people
have
to try.
torches. Yeah.
Would you like assistance and try to find the command word?
Yeah. I mean,
Can
you probably have more languages than I do, so.
Can I attempt to? Can
Maybe.
you use spellcraft to try and?
Give me a
Yeah.
spell. Yeah, you can spellcraft to try and decipher an activation word.
One in the wow.
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
This is 37.
Yeah, Sigus, it's like you can read into the magic that has been weaved into this helmet as you're sort of detecting magic and sort of slowly taking your time to try and identify the particularities of this one. Sure enough, like there is it's not really a word. It's like a sound that you're supposed to make with your tongue. Which sort of mimics the sound of a mantis. That's like or like a cricket. It's like the sort of thing, like rolling R's with your tongue, sort of thing. And that's
Okay.
the activation word for these ones.
Okay.
I don't think that this is worth being able to see in the nighttime.
I mean,
Like I'm like vetoing this so hard right now.
I would agree with you, Silera, but I don't know if us saying that's actually going to stop him unless we physically
Okay.
restrain him.
I'm
Well,
just,
That's
no.
my only concern here.
I'm just saying.
They
I
are
just don't
pretty
think-
sweet items.
I mean, they let you see invisible stuff. They let you see in the dark. I don't know what else they fucking do, but we've got like three of them.
We
so-
don't know what else they do is the problem.
Can I
Well,
say
they're not
what?
They're
hurt.
used by evil assassins.
Yeah. Sorry, what kind of schools of magic are they?
Oh, that's a
Transmutation.
good question.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way that, like,
Also
if it's...
note that these could be very easily tracked. So if we don't keep them in an interdimensional space, that could become very dangerous for all of us,
Oh, that's a great
considering that
point.
3 of the people in our current party are being tracked by them to die.
No, that's a great
The
point.
Mask of the Mantis, which is the technical term for these items, they detect as faint divination. Despite them being very versatile and pretty powerful items, they're crafted with quite surprising ease. The minimum cast level requirement in mechanical terms is 3.
And it also
Wow.
Yep.
does it not require you to like be a red mantis assassin? You can just craft them.
They wouldn't be a Mask of the Mantis if you crafted them without being a red mantis. They would be a false Mask of the Mantis. You could call them whatever you want. They would still have
Yeah.
the same mechanics.
So
Mask of the Night
technically-
Eagle.
Yes.
Technically, it's just a magic item.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
I think-
know.
I
think
actually-
the cracking thing is
I-
really the
yeah,
best point that's
The,
been made.
the tracking thing, I think, is actually a great point. Because also, don't you have dark vision anyways from your eagle eye goggles?
No.
No, they just give you better perception.
Got ya.
Yeah.
Also, we have this nifty thing called magic, and she just kind of boops Robin on the nose and casts a light on him.
His
Well,
nose.
Now
Now we
everybody
can't see a
can
damn
me.
thing.
I know. Well, now
Amazing.
everybody can see me. Is the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm also not super concerned. It's a fairly open plain. We haven't seen anyone else on the road here. Like,
Suppose that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, I
Also, if there is no negative to Sigis casting the spell, I can stay up all night with you. And I do, in fact, have dark vision.
there you
I
go.
like this plan.
I
Can we
was
just-
going
can we-
to. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we just point out that that male did say that he wanted to rest?
Yeah. So we're camping,
Yeah.
and this
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
just,
we're
like,
camping.
finding out.
Okay,
It
gotcha.
was just a.
Gotcha.
Robin was doing it for the watch. One thing I did want to point out is if Mail is, or if we have that spell available that you can cast there, Sigis, I can try to do long-term care on Mail overnight.
Never mind, it's 1 target per 2 levels, so fuck it. We can have a slumber party.
And not sleep is what you're telling me.
So yeah, I'm just gonna throw it just so that everyone can see the text of the spell.
Yeah.
Robin,
Um,
that is precisely what a slumber party is. This is a party where you
Yes.
don't slumber.
Slumber
So-
party where you don't slumber. Yes.
Yep.
So you gain hit points as if resting. It's only for wizards for preparing spells. So Erica, you probably need to
It does
sleep.
say and so on. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
It does
I
include
think-
other casters as well.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
the
but it-
thrust of that is that I would still need to do the praying and everything in the morning, but it
Mhm.
bypasses the need for the sleep.
Yeah, so like you can't actually do much, but it's just like we can be alert, so it helps prevent ambush. And
Well,
I will be preparing the spell pretty much every day.
yeah.
Yep.
The nice thing about that is while we have Mail, I can just keep doing long-term care, which will give him bonuses to his saves and stuff.
Tell you
Awesome.
what, Sigis, how many of those do you have left? Do you just have the 1 per day?
Yeah, but I have points.
Oh, right. Because I was gonna say you could maybe make a scroll of that while we're just camping, so that you can save the slot, or if we do get ambushed, you'll have another one.
That's fair. I just was thinking like I do plan on casting it every day. And
Mhm.
so I just didn't think it made sense for us to spend the money for me to prepare it, especially when now it's like, 3 people can stay up.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I
Also-
think I do at some point plan on making a scroll, but I'm keeping it
Yeah.
on me
Also,
for
keep in
now.
mind that crafting a scroll requires you to cast the spell into the scroll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this will only be a problem really for another day.
Yeah, and I've only now really started thinking about scrolls because I finally have all the spells in my spellbook and like the magic items crafting. So now that's something I'm looking to
All right.
tackle.
In that
Um,
case, let's summarize what's going on, right?
Mhm.
So, Robin, you have the Mask of the Mantis on. It is
No, we ended up putting it away in the fanny pack
Oh,
so that it couldn't be tracked.
right. Yeah. You
Mhm.
put it on, you took it off, put it in the fanny pack so that it couldn't be tracked.
Mhm.
You guys are sort of setting up camp. Sigis, are you gonna cast Keep Watch on?
I am. I'm gonna cast it on Grigori
You get 4 people.
and oh yeah.
Yep.
Grigori and Erica and who wants it? I could sleep. I don't care.
I would also like to sleep if
I
I'm
mean, I
honest.
think
Okay.
just Grigori and Erica is all that's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you could
And,
technically
yeah,
also give
and-
it to Robin just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah, and I'll
Or
give it to
one of the
Robin so he
horses or
gains the
something.
benefit of rest, and I'll do it on myself, and I'll just study some of the materials
All right.
that we have.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
the 4 of
Also,
you.
you could craft.
Yeah, you could spend the night crafting if you wanted.
Got ya. Okay. Sure. I know as we were talking about whether we would allow me to do crafting during this, just because that might potentially get bananas.
Yeah, we did
if
say
you're-
that. Yeah, no, you're good. If you're staying up all night using a spell for doing so, it's 8 hours that you're gonna get. If you're interrupted, and the progress is lost. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't I guess I don't have anything planned for right now, unfortunately.
I have something that you
Um,
can do in 8 hours if you want.
Scrolls.
Yeah.
Robe of twine.
What is the twine for?
It's infinite twine. You can just pull out twine and rope as much as you want. And pretty much what it lets me do is it lets me shoot an arrow and I can walk along the twine because light steps.
you're not wrong. But also, it has so many more uses. It is a very
Yeah.
versatile item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
you can
people
just
okay
summon
with
rope. You never have to
make-
carry rope.
is for $500.
Yeah.
Person
Where's
infinite
your
rope.
spreadsheet? Anyway,
Um,
that's in the.
So the
chat.
spreadsheet, unfortunately, it does need. I can drop a link, but it just does.
We'll,
Side
we'll
note.
handle the
Yeah.
the specifics of
Yeah.
the cost and whatnot. We can assume that you do have
Mhm.
some materials with you that you have been carrying, and I mean, you can transmute gold into the raw essence that you need in order to craft this item. You would require a robe to be converted into the robe of twine, I would say, because it's not like a robe suddenly appears out of nowhere. So up to you whose robe you're turning into it.
We have an extravagant noble's outfit.
Hey, I think we do.
Where the
You're
fuck
right.
did you get that?
We got it at the Foxglove Manor.
Oh my god, you
You're
did!
right.
Yeah, we took the clothes.
It is worth 200 gold. So
It
So
does.
that's literally the material component,
That is half of the material component. Yeah.
who wants to be dope as fuck?
right? Robe of infinite twine. Let's fucking
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean,
Utility.
yeah, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So overnight,
Robin, can't you not even do that? Can't you not even wear that because of the cloak of resistance or those shoulders?
No,
It's robe.
yeah. Robe is chest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind
Cloak
then.
is shoulders.
Yeah.
right. So the 4 of you who are awake during the night, give me perception checks.
Yeah. And do you
So
want me to
Erica
roll a
could do-
heal check for the
Yes, please.
thingamadoo?
Yes, as you're tending to my old suntress.
Not bad. Not
That's
bad.
Pretty good. I also do need the perception check, Erica.
Oh, yes. I can do that. I have a. Ah, wow. That's a 19 damage.
Nice rolls, boys.
Grigori, and Robin. Damn, Sigis. Damn.
Holy shit!
And that's
Oh,
not
he
That was a
rolled a
19.
19 on it.
Hold on,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
assisted
so
Sigurd.
it's
I assisted him. He gets more.
yeah.
He gets a 41.
41. Yeah.
So,
Oh wait, no,
Grigori,
it's
Grigori and Robin. Actually, the four of you that are awake will hear during the night the sounds of predators in the night. Like you hear a little bit of a off in the distance. And it doesn't sound like Grigori. You would know this. It doesn't sound like wolves in the area. It sounds more like coyotes, probably. But probably just like some animals, some pack of animals nearby.
As long as it's not owl bears.
Don't tempt me. Grigori, you would spot at one point during the night a creature off in the distance as your eyes sort of adjust to the night, and sort of moonlit, breaking through out of one of the thickets of the thicket of trees. What looks like a rather massive bear, like easily the largest bear you've seen in your life. Give me a nature check.
This is not going to go well, mainly because I'm pretty confident I'm not trained in it.
Wait, what?
Nope, that's fine.
Mainly because
No, you're
as
trained
part of-
in. Yeah, no.
yeah, as the ranger that I am, I was pushed to be putting points in religion and stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you're
He's
doing
an
the
expert
undead thing.
on the undead,
Yeah.
not on
Yeah. Roy's all about killing undead, so.
Yep. I mean, it looks like a bear, a black bear, probably some form of, probably like some kind of like unique specimen, like an alpha bear sort of thing, because it looks massive.
An
It
owl
doesn't.
bear?
Could be an
It's
owl
not
bear.
making hooting sounds.
Except owl bears are from D&D and not Pathfinder. But
I thought we had an equivalent to the owl bear. What is it?
No.
I'll have to look it up.
They're in Pathfinder too.
I'm pretty confident they're in Pathfinder.
Yeah,
Is
they
it?
are.
Yeah,
Oh,
they are.
it's the Beholder
Yeah.
that is only.
Yeah, Beholder is
Yeah.
D&D only.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
And technically, lithids, I think. But
Yeah.
mind
Lithids.
flayers are
Yeah,
in
mind
Pathfinder.
flayers. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see this massive bear. It doesn't seem to be interested in the group, and it seems to be like it stands on its hind legs, and when it does, at that point you realize how fucking massive this thing is. It's
Like 20
standing.
feet.
It's standing about on par with one of the trees, and that tree during the last sort of hours of sunlight that you got looked like it was a good like 15, maybe 20 feet tall, and that bear is about the same size.
Holy fuck.
Robin will probably notice Grigori's eyes get huge.
You see the moonlight reflected in Grigori's eyes.
I sort of look, and then I look at what he's looking at.
Now
And
that
I
you're like
squint.
looking in the same direction with a little bit of assistance from Grigori, you spot the sort of vague silhouette of this massive bear sort of smelling with its head sort of pointed upwards and then in the general sort of vicinity around the thicket.
Well, I'm glad we stayed away from the thickets.
Holy fuck, that thing is big. Is that normal?
Glad I'm
Oh.
sleeping.
Wait,
Uh,
if you point that out, Eric can actually roll a knowledge nature.
yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would point it out to pretty much everybody. Yeah.
Not much
That's a
better,
wait.
but it's trained.
You still
No.
don't know what the fuck this is, but that is no natural bear. That is way too big.
My
Wow.
my uncle Thane is a ranger as well. He typically hunts with wolves. Like he sort of uses them as hunting dogs. They're really effective. He told me of dire wolves that exist. That might be a dire bear. That's the only thing that I could guess.
Siggy's casts mage armor. Very, very quietly.
Sigus
Classic.
shits himself.
Like you
It's a
guys probably
bear!
like you guys probably see like
No,
Sigus
that's
is
not a
like
bear.
sewing
That's-
the
Yeah.
sewing magic into the fabric of the robe of twine. Looks up, sees the you guys are having that conversation, like immediately casts magic armor, like goes back. But yeah, that looks like a possibly at the mention of Robin's saying this, the possibility is there that it could be a dire bear.
Yeah, well, let's continue avoiding the thickets if they're full of dire bears.
All right. Luckily for you guys, the bear eventually goes back onto all fours and starts moving away from you. Though terrifyingly, it does so at a sprint. And you suddenly see that it moves very fast, and that is
Something's about to die.
something is probably about to die.
Something that isn't us.
A few moments later, you hear off in the distance a yelp, a very, very high-pitched yelp, almost like ear piercing. If it were closer, it would probably have hurt your ear. And then a few moments later, you hear another, followed by an answer, a reply in the same tone.
Okay.
But after that, the night is pretty calm, pretty silent. And unless there's something you guys want to do during the night, aside from tending to Mael and crafting, the morning will come. We'll see sunrise over the Mindspin Mountains. It comes a little bit late because now you're sort of close enough to the mountains where it delays the dawn. You see it sort of. It's about like what usually would have been 10 a.m. that the sun finally pierces over the mountains and gets you the full intensity of its light. And you guys have already packed up by then. And sure enough, now that you have full sunlight, the path ahead is a fully cobblestoned road that starts to wind up left and right as it goes up the hills and starts to go towards the mountains.
All right. Well, let's hop to it.
Yeah. Let
Get
me
lunch when
cast
we
my
get there.
spell and make haste.
Yeah. Doesn't take long.
Yay.
You would arrive about 3 hours later at what is probably the most impressive sight in Yanderhof, place for those who haven't seen it before. And that is the massive stone gates, iron gates and fences that line the outside of the Sky Citadel.
Oh shit.
And then the massive dwarven statues, half hidden behind them, sort of standing guard. Passage. And
Now, is
That
it
is
elevated right now, or is it grounded right now?
what do you mean?
The Sky Citadel.
They're not
Those-
flying cities.
They're not flying. They're
They
called
used to be.
no.
No,
They're
they're-
called
no,
sky
they-
citadels because they are open to the sky as opposed to
Underground.
underground.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
they're the first places where the dwarves popped up from underground. So they made these big fuck off fortresses basically.
Sort of.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yanderhof
and I was
is
doing background information for. Oh my god,
Yanderhof?
why is his name gone? My
Yanderhof?
character,
Oh,
Dorban?
Dorban.
Dorban. Yeah. This was the gates that I had seen.
Yep.
The
Mhm.
description of the city.
It's weird because this is like the least impressive sight of the city once you like in terms of like the painting. Because seen from the front, there's another painting I'll show you guys after the session. You will see as you're sort of watching the passage that leads you to these gates. Behind all of this impressive stonework, The mountains keep going up and up and up, and you see here and there the sort of separate buildings that pop up on each of the cusps of the mountains. Every time that there's a peak, there's some form of structure scaling above it, extending and then forming sort of steps down the mountain, as if the entire terrain had been carved by hand by the dwarves.
I mean, it was.
Probably.
Erica just kind of looks at
Probably.
me like, that's one hell of a wall.
Yeah. And the wall stands between you and the city, and there is no gate in sight. As in, there's no opening fence.
So Robin walks up to the wall and he knocks.
Is there a knowledge check we can roll to know how to get into this thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me 1 sec, and Robin's gonna walk up the wall.
So as you guys, it's like,
How to get arrested by all the guards in the Underhoff?
No, I'm just
101.
gonna go up to the top and say, "Hey, yo, where's the gate at, though?"
As Robin starts to go up, Gregory will be like, "Again, we are trying not to stick out. Why do you keep doing this?
Because we don't know where the gate is.
Look,
We can find it.
Just-
I'm sure there's a road that will lead to it."
we're on the road now. Like, I'm assuming it leads into this somewhere.
yeah, I will point out that like the cobblestone path that you've been following sort of leads up to the gate, to the iron gates, and then sort of splits in half, as if it were like a sidewalk around a building. It just goes in both directions, following the iron fence.
So left or right, always go left.
True.
Can we try for a knowledge check to know if we know how to get into
Sure.
this
Give me a
stuff?
knowledge local, because this would be like.
Dude, the
knowledge of-
dwarves follow the rule of always go left.
Or did they do it intentionally backwards? Fuck with people.
There you go, Celera.
Yeah.
No, this is my second nat 1 on knowledge level.
Yeah.
There you go.
Once again, Gregory, dwarves, not your area of expertise. This land, nowhere near where you used to work.
He's like, what are doors though?
Robin and Erica. Actually, no, Robin, Sigis, and Erica. This is a very fortified city, and dwarves aren't exactly known to be very welcoming to people. In fact, Robin, you in particular, do know that like the Crystal Rock Treaty, the Crystal Rock Agreement, was like back in the day an amazing achievement that Corvosa managed to strike a merchant deal between Corvosa and Yanderhof. But Yanderhof is very much close to the public in general. And Celera, you know about the Crystal Rock agreement. You do know that the Yanderhof does trade still to this day, 300 years afterwards. Does trade with Corvosa. Usually, it's only one way though. It's mostly things going from Yanderhof to Corvosa, and they keep their society, their markets quite secretive. Whenever they're buying from Corvosa or from Palin's Cove, it is always a detachment of dwarves that comes to pick up like a caravan of dwarves that comes down from Yanderhof to find the desired merchandise to bring back. So the answer is, you have no fucking clue how to get into Yanderhof itself.
Is this the struggle that the 8-ball was trying to tell us about?
Well, no. So out of character, the wheel and woe is like something good is gonna happen and something bad is gonna happen. That's it.
Something good is that
Globally
make it there.
good
Sure,
though.
your father.
Something bad is that
Right.
we're not gonna be able to get
Mhm.
into this place.
Is there
But
is there
we're
any
being tracked.
is
or
there any
something like that.
dwarven like writing?
That's a very
Around
good
the
point.
'Cause I
Uh,
speak dwarven.
Who does speak Dwarven in the party?
Not
I.
me.
Sigis
Just
does.
Sigis.
Oh, guys, I
I'm-
am not diplomatic. This is bad.
I'm a very, very interested GM right now because Sigus has saved me a lot of trouble in general. Sigus, you know Dwarven.
Hilariously.
Some parts of the gate, what at first sight seems to be part of the carvings, like just decorations on the iron. God damn it, Ryan. You're not wrong though. The only elf in
I'm
the
not
party
wrong.
knows Dwarven. What a heresy. Just wizard things. Sigus, the carvings that at first, well, they're technically not carvings, but like indentations on the iron gate that at first sight seem to be like decorations. You can tell are some quite fucking old versions of Dwarven writing. And I'm trying not to word it like it says on Minas Tirith, but it does say something along the lines of "Speak the word, friend, and ye shall enter."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this
Well,
one.
it's great that I.
How do you say "fuck off, cunt" in Dwarven?
They're
Fuck
unfortunately
off.
not Southern Australian dwarves.
Yeah.
This is actually good that I know that it's
they
more
come from
archaic.
down under. Come on.
That's
Aw,
actually funny. I will
boo.
give you that.
All right, that was a fucking good one. That one got me.
Reluctantly, that was good.
They are from the land down under.
God damn it.
And they do the whole thunder thing as well.
Yeah.
And it's good that I know more ancient Dwarven because I
Yeah.
mostly learned it by just
Four.
reading all the old books that came through the local shop where
Yeah.
he lived. So he's going to speak friend and enter, avoiding copyright infringements.
Yeah, you speak in well, to you it's an approximation of what probably ancient Dwarven sounds like because there's not that many elves or dwarves in Varizia. They're kind of a rare sight in general. It's sort of Yanderhof and Corvosa that has a modicum of dwarven population. Um, yeah, it's close enough, and surely enough, you hear an answer from the other side of the iron gates. Who is it? I don't recognize you.
My apologies for my accent. I don't get to use Dwarven very much. My name is Sigismund Inuit.
Sounds like a pansy name.
It
Uh,
is.
At this point, Grigori will lean forward. Maybe we should tell them that we are friends with Torben.
I
Dorbin's
don't
from
think
here.
any of the rest of us can understand what's happening right now. Sigus is just talking to a wall.
We
Sigus
heard
is-
somebody shout Dwarven, most likely.
Yeah, you're hearing the back and forth in Dwarven. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't like my name. I am a friend of Dorbin. Oh shoot, what's his last name?
Playrock.
Playrock.
Playrock. Dwarven Playrock, and we
Plate.
come
Like,
plate.
Wait.
It's hard with the accent.
yeah.
We come seeking
I'd like to
He's
think he
got-
fucked it up in Dwarven.
He's got a lisp in Dwarven.
seeking shelter and hopefully bringing some trade.
Playrock, you say?
Yes, I think. I'm like 95% sure. Kidding. That was said yes.
Alright. Coming in. And you hear a thunk, thunk, thunk as some metal is hit with like an open palm. And then you see the iron gate begins to open up pretty much in line with the path. The gate sort of cuts in half. The separation between the two parts invisible a moment ago where they were touching. And as it does, you see 5 dwarves in full plate armor standing behind the gates, and they sort of one of them is sort of standing in the middle and says, "Hi, welcome to Yanderhof. You'll stay with me, and you're not getting out of my sight until I know for sure you're friends with Dorban."
All right.
Alright.
And I'll tell my crew like we're to follow him, and we're not. And he's gonna look right around, and we're not to leave.
Not to
We're
leave the
just going
site,
to
I'm assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with him until he can confirm that we know Dorban, which should be good because we do, and then we will have access to the city.
Yeah. I guess just throw us at the Church of Abadar, and then
Yep.
yeah, we're their problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are on a mission.
Very safe place for us to be. Also where we want to go, so
Yeah. Yeah. So this stout man leads you past the gates and deeper into the city, and you can see again. It's quite impressive because it's not just that the city builds from the mountain and upwards. It's also that the mountain itself has sort of been carved into, and there are several sort of partial layers of buildings coming from the ground up. And you can see all the buildings that have an exterior have these almost like intricate carvings made of iron and silver, and you know for sure that it's not mithril, but it almost looks like it is mithril. Like it has a mirror finish to it.
Mm.
It wouldn't be a stretch to call the buildings in this city a piece of art in and of themselves.
Awesome.
And as you guys sort of walk up the path, the door says, "Right, so I'll be taking you out to the old forge. I think Orban's father should still live. Should be able to corroborate who they are."
Yep.
Wait, Darvin's dad can corroborate who we are?
I do not.
I mean, not that I can understand this, but out of character, what?
Dorban writes home every day, every week. He's a lovely son.
I mean, honestly, he probably does use sendings to talk to his family now.
Okay.
He's a good
But-
boy.
But I'm sure we could describe what Dorban looks like to his father, and that would be,
Mm-hmm.
and tell him about the things that we've done with him would be probably enough for his father to, like, oh yeah, they know my son.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's a little bit early to do this, but as you guys are led into a rather large open door, like there's no door to this building. There's more like an open portal almost into the inside of this massive black stone building that at the center has this roaring fire from which 5 forges are spread out, and sort of you see 10 dwarves working about and milling away the day, blacksmithing together. And you can tell like they're all working different projects, and it seems like the fire shared. And you hear the guard that's sort of leading you politely, "Playrock, come here, you bastard!" And
See, I told you you should have just yelled "Oi cunt" at the gate and you would have been fine.
you see a man from the back turn around, throw something at the guard that hits them on the armor and just bounces off. And like it takes you a moment, but they just threw the plate rock just threw a blacksmith's hammer at this man from across a room. And you see the dwarf sort of starts to come over, raring for a fist fight. And then like he sees a lot of you and stops and says, "I didn't. I. Ah, you cunt. I'll had to bring them over. Right. So, a lot of you, I think I recognize you already. Someone's talked about you. I didn't expect you to come visit, but how's he doing? Just hasn't. Not with you, right?
No, he's still in Magnamar, working there. Though he was also might be
Yeah.
traveling
traveling.
to Carmaga to he's on a important duty for the church.
Yeah, he told me about that when I thought he would. Well, I thought he was gonna come visit. You know, bastard.
He'll
Oh, you just have to
probably
put up
come
with
back
us.
once he gets rid of the what he's working on for the church. It's not something he'd want to bring here, I don't think.
Right, he just mentioned something about that. Right. Gregory, they can fuck off now. And you see the guard sort of stares at him for a moment. Like they start to head back. As
Also,
you
Grigori takes a step back, thinking he was telling him to fuck
Yeah.
off. Like, wait, what? Oh wait,
Yeah.
Gregory.
Awkward coincidence of names there. Maybe my brain is just fried. But as I say that,
Grigori. Yeah.
Gregory and Grigori. As you guys have now met up with Dorban's father, I think that is a perfectly good time to call it for tonight.
Absolutely.
Yay!
Good
We
shit.
didn't die. We didn't get
And
eaten by a bear.
we
We made it into
went
the
from
city.
point A to B to C to D. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without any issue. Also,
I know.
I really wanted to shoot that dire bear. I'm gonna be honest.
I really wanted to fucking sneak up on it and knock it the fuck out.
I
Like-
was convinced that before Erica or Sigis would become involved, you guys were just going to attack it.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, man.
No,
I hope
that
that they're
thing-
smart and not.
no,
Everyone
it gets
seems to
stuck
be-
between its teeth.
Everyone seems to be very energetic and happy about the session, so I'm glad. I will end the stream here, so bye stream.
Yeah.
Bye,
stream.
stream.